So this is my Halloween TBR shelf with all my horror and supernatural books. So I'm going to start along this side. This is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, we've got Hoffman's The Crucible, The Long Weekend and Ghosting. Those 4 books I've actually read and I'm going to do them in my Halloween recommendations video, so I'm not going to talk too much about them now. So we're going to start with this book here. This is The Merciless by Danielle Vega. So this is basically about a new girl starts a town, she befriends the popular girls, and the popular girls say that one of the girls in their class is possessed and they have to do an exorcism on her, and it all gets a little bit out of hand, and this is what this book is about. Next up I have Thomas Harrison's Red Dragon and the Silence of the Lambs, so obviously it's 2 books in one. I'm very excited to read this. I have seen all the Hannibal films and I love them, so I'm excited, but it is like a mammoth book. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Next up we have Crow Girl Rising. It's just a short story about a girl who has to get the crows to help her when she gets bullied at school. Next one along is Zaid by Heather Rees, and this is a supernatural book. The next one along is The Melancholy Death of Oyster Boy and Other Stories by Tim Burton. I'm sure a lot of you have already read that. And then along here we've got Gillian Flynn's Sharp Objects. This book is a bit of sort of a thriller. I don't really know if it's a horror. I think it's a bit of a thriller crime book. And it's about 2 girls in a neighbourhood are abducted and killed, and then the lady who has to investigate it, she once lived in that town, so she has to go back, investigate this crime and everything, and it reminds her of something that happened to her in her childhood. The next book is the Awakening series, the Dark Powers book by Kelly Armstrong. I realised it's a series, but I didn't know that when I bought it, so I just bought this individual book. So this is about a girl who has supernatural powers that have been given to her by scientists, and one day when she's a teenager, scientists decide that they want to take those powers back away from her and don't want her to have all that power and responsibility. So what she decides to do is to go on the run with, I think, a witch and a werewolf and someone else, and be free because she wants to keep her powers. Next up is Burial Rats by Hannah Kent, and I believe it's something to do with the last hanging or something to do with that. I'm not sure if it's about witchcraft, but I just popped it in there anyway. I then have Charlene Harris. I'm sure a lot of people know this or remember this back in the day. Charlene Harris, A Touch of Blood. And so I've never actually read one. I thought I did, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to start with A Touch of Dead and see how I get along with that. And I might actually buy the series if I do like that. I then got Marked. This was £1, so I just sort of picked it up. This is a House of Night novel, Marked by PC and Kristen Cast, and I think it's like a vampire-esque sort of thing. I'm not quite sure, but it looked intriguing from the cover and very horror-related. And then last but not least, I got The Gates by John Connolly. This is about a young boy whose neighbourhood are trying to open the gates of hell, and he doesn't think that's right, so he decides that he's going to stop them all from opening the gates. As you can see here, this is obviously 2 gates, but it also has the face of the devil. If you can see here, the horns and the eyes, oh god, the whole typography and everything on this book just looks absolutely stunning. So I'm very, very excited to read this, and even the inside pages are so Halloweeny. And that's it, this is my Halloween TBR.